So I am deciding to do a video journal, um, mainly because it takes too long to journal. So I decided today would be a good start.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Because today was a pretty big day for us. Um,
You just totally erased me.
oh, sorry. A couple reasons why I wanted to do this. Because I wanted to journal, but like I said, it's too long. And, look how close it is. I feel like I'm talking now. What am I trying to say? It's late and I'm tired.
It's 10:30 at night. Amber is usually wasted by 10 o'clock, so she's done.
Not wasted, like drunk. No,
Tired.
thank you.
No, she's useless by 10 o'clock.
Yes. So maybe this isn't a good time to do this, but I just wanted to document the events of today. Anyways, God has showed up numerous times in our lives, and I want a way to keep track of it so that we can always go back and look back on it, or show it to the kids. And also, too, since today was a big day for the new business, I wanted kind of a starting point to see like how we progressed throughout the months, years, whatever. So, just to give you a little background information, since our departure from church project, we have just kind of felt like we were wandering, W-A-N-D, wandering, not really knowing what direction to go in, not knowing if ministry in the church was for us, because we weren't really feeling like it was. So we talked about possibly starting a church, which we've always talked about. There was a job in Maryland that we talked about going to because it was a video job for the government, so it would be a very secure place to go, as far as 401k, moving expenses, salary, 40 hours a week, regular paycheck, things like that. Talked about doing the video business, focusing more on that. We talked about Andy going and taking over his dad's company and what that would look like. And then I remember, I don't know, about a month ago, more than a month ago, I received a phone call from my husband. I was downstairs in the kitchen, and he called me and he says, "Amber, I think that I just had the idea that's going to change our lives." And I thought, oh, here we go again. Every idea that he comes up with is going to change our lives.
I don't ever say that, though.
No. And so anyways, he came home and told me what it was, which was this idea about this hub that blue-collar workers could come to that could get them instant access to work or workers. And after it was done, I was like, that's it? Like, that's your idea? So anyways, we've read several books, listened to audiobooks. Oh, man.
It's still recording.
9 minutes. Hurry up, Amber. And throughout all of this, we basically learned, I've learned that doing ministry at a church is not for us, at least right now. Don't start a business or have a business that is service-based, because there's a particular cap and you're putting in lots of hours and not getting a lot of money. And what else have we learned?
Technology is a rapid growth industry where you can make exponentially more money. It's reproducible, scalable, and which makes it easier to make more money than you put in hours wise, and gives you flexibility to do things like travel and things like that, and work from a different location if need be, which is one of the reasons why we thought of this job. or this business.
Which is what we ultimately want to do. We don't want to be in one place. We don't want our kids to be, you know, growing up in the same place their whole life. Or at least, I mean, we want to be able to travel. We want to be able to experience new things and do things as a family. And so that, but at the same time, I felt guilty for wanting these things because I feel like growing up, like, I don't know, maybe as a Southern Baptist, it was like, if you have money, then that's wrong, you know. You either work outside of the church and have money, or you work in the church and don't have money. And since we chose to work in the church, and that was just going to be what we did for the rest of our lives. Anyways, gotta hurry this up. So we've been praying a lot. I've been praying as an individual. Andy's been praying. We've been coming together,
reading through the Psalms and Proverbs for wisdom.
And so we haven't received an answer. And so Andy's like, I need to know what I'm doing. I'm pulled in all these different directions. You know, I can't get anything done because I'm trying to do too many things. And we have some money coming into us that I wanted to pay off debt with. He said, well, if we believe in this blue collar thing, then let's use that to live off of so I can focus on just the blue collar thing. And I was like, you know, I haven't heard anything yet, so I don't necessarily want to go in this direction. And so anyways, we were supposed to meet with a couple of people today. Well, yesterday, a couple days ago, we decided to do a prayer walk, which was basically we went down to the waterway. And going to the prayer walk, we heard the story about this guy who prayed for rain. He drew a circle. He went inside the circle. He prayed for rain. He wasn't leaving the circle until God answered his prayer and it started raining. And so anyways, we go to pray, or we go to, I'm so tired. We start on this prayer walk because it's something that one of his mentors, you know, recommended. If you haven't heard from God, then go on a prayer walk, basically. So that's what we did.
Beg to hear from God.
Yeah. And so it was a rainy day. It's been raining for days here in Houston, which it hasn't done in forever. And it kind of stopped raining, but it was still sprinkling. And so we go and we walk down by the waterway, and it's just nobody's out because of the weather. And so it's just him and I just walking in the quiet, just these raindrops just falling on this lake. So anyways, I'm starting to pray in my mind and, you know, just thanking God and just praising him and just, you know, asking for cleansing and, you know, that we want to hear. And then at the end, we stop and we look down and there's a circle. And so we're like, how perfect. We go inside the circle and, you know, we're like, what have you heard? Have you heard anything? And, you know, what is God telling you? And so anyways, after that, then we start walking again. And while we were in the circle, I read from Joshua. It was something that had spoken to me, and it was just talking about having confidence, and like God told Moses to go and do something, and whenever he did it, he said, you know, follow my way. My way is straight. Don't veer to the left or to the right. Follow down my path, and I will make you prosper, and I will make you, you know, basically like give you all these treasures and just bless you in all these different ways. And so anyways, after we read that, I look up and we start walking, and it's neat because there's this path, just a straight path all the way down in front of us. And so I start walking on it, and, you know, I tell Andy about it, how I think that that's neat or whatever. And I'm walking in front and he's behind me. And so then we walk a little bit further and we stop to pray, and that's whenever we really pray for God to, you know, show us something. And like I'm expecting like something to come out of the water and like, you know, a hand right in the water or something. We don't hear anything, but we feel like it was fruitful, and we felt like, you know, we spent time with the Lord and we completely opened ourselves up to the Lord, and we didn't necessarily hear anything specific. So then we start walking again, and then I noticed that now the path which I was walking on in front of Andy is now split. Or it's not split, the path is still the same, but I'm on one side and he's on the other, and it's like we're equal and we're walking it together as a couple, as opposed to me being in front. And that was just significant to me because I felt like the Lord was speaking to me, telling me that I need to be more submissive, which I don't think that I'm disrespectful. I think that I submit to my husband, but there are definitely times where I feel like I need to be in control and I need to be in charge, and I need to make some of the decisions. And And this whole time I've been wanting from Andy, like I've been wanting for him to prove to me like he's capable of this. He's capable of taking this money and doing the right thing, or he's capable of creating this huge, business, and building it from nothing into whatever it is that it's supposed to turn into. And so, anyways, we go today to Starbucks, which was completely unintended. It just happened to happen because stuff fell through. And we're going through this business plan after we get in this fight at the house about. Dang it. Will you go get the charger, please? We're going through this business plan about what it's going to take in order to even start asking for investors. And there's just so many things to do. And it's just overwhelming. And all I want to tell him is just, no, I don't want to do this. Like, let's go to Maryland. Let's take a secure job where, we know where money's going to be coming from. And we know, that we're going to have 401k and things are going to be all right. We're going to be able to pay for stuff. And, but at the same time, this whole time I've been thinking, like, don't choose the safe path just because it's safe. Nothing comes out of being safe. And so I've been fighting it, but that seems like the easy way out. And so Andy gets up and goes to the bathroom and comes back and just, shares his heart with me and just tells me where he's at, and again just reiterates that it's hard for him to be pulled in 4 different directions. And so anyways, it was just like out of nowhere I just got this overwhelming, it was just like this spirit passed by me and just surrounded me and just like lifted this cloud off of me and just painted such a clear picture and spoke to me so clearly and just told me, like, brought everything together full circle, that like part of my struggle has been that I've been wanting to be a part of this. Like, I want to be involved because I want to be beside my husband, in there, like in the thick of it. But at the same time, I have these convictions because we have these 3 small kids who are at home. And so it was just like, it just all cleared up to me that I need to let go. I need to let go of everything that I'm holding on to, that I think that I can do better, or that I'm hanging over his head, or that I'm withholding from him, because of what I think needs to happen. And it was like God just said, Amber, be submissive to your husband. Trust me. It's not that he has to prove himself to you. You need to trust me. And in doing that, I will take care of the rest. And I was just floored, because for the first time it was just very clear to me what was supposed to happen. And I just told Andy, I hereby relinquish all of my rights, if I even ever had any, to any of the finances or the decision making or whatever. Like, I know that where I'm supposed to be right now is at home with the kids and taking care of the home and the house. And I've even neglected that because I've been trying to do busy work and get in with him. And so it just doesn't sound as good coming out of my mouth at 10:45 at night. But I just always want to go back to this day whenever I get discouraged and I get down and times are tough, that today I heard from the Lord, and that it was confirmed in me that this is the path that we're supposed to go on, and that this is what we're supposed to be doing, and that I'm supposed to be supporting him and not in the thick of it, not trying to do stuff myself, but just sitting back, taking a back seat for a while, and letting my husband just charge ahead.
Sure wasn't that Yellow Jacket?
Side note. In the car before we got out, I did get attacked by a Yellow Jacket all over my arm. I don't know if you can see it through here. I'm surprised I still have an arm. It was a pretty big attack, and Andy just sat there calmly talking on the phone.
I thought you were like, I didn't see anything flying.
Because it was stuck in my shirt. And so
it was a teeny tiny one, like the size of an ant, literally.
it hurt
But it was
bad.
definitely a yellow jacket.
So I say this because if it does get crazy, then
And
I
things go
think
wrong.
that, and things go wrong, I think that it was the yellow jacket serum that was inside of me. It took a while to take effect, but once it did, I think either it released a truth serum or a crazy serum.
Because you started crying like crazy.
Yeah,
Not from the pain, but just emotionally.
I did feel quite overwhelmed. And I think it was a release that all this had been building up, and I've been waiting and waiting, and I thought it was going to be like this huge sign. But you know what? That's like it is in Kings. Whenever Elijah is running and he starts talking to God, and God said that he's going to speak to him on this in this cave on this mountain, and the big wind goes by, and like the mountains crack, and there's an earthquake, and all these big things happen, and Elijah doesn't hear him, and then it's in the tiny whisper in the silence that God calls him, and that's what it was like today. It was like I expected all these big things to happen, and none of it's happened, and I've been frustrated and just, you know, praying and calling out like, why are you not hearing me? And it was just in a gentle whisper today, and he just said, just let go. And so that's why I wanted to document this, because this isn't the first time that God has spoken to me in my life, and I want it to be recorded. I would rather write it down because I'm a paper and pen person,
Oh boy, is she.
but it was too much.
Yeah.
So, did I miss anything?
Got it in 17 minutes.
It was supposed to be under 2.
Love you.
I love you.
Love you, kids.
I love you. Signing off.